stereo. One money clip. One cell phone. One gold watch. One giant key.
So, is that?
Charges are dropped.
Great. Time to get back to work.
Gasta mi tiempo una vez más. El castigo será la muerte.
Time to spread the news. The temple is back in business. Lucha Underground.
And recovered, my friend.
Brother, thank you very much. Listen, the only thing I want to say about what happened in Ultimo Luchadores, I want to be real clear right now, right off the get. I'm nobody's master. I'm nobody's mentor. I want one job. That's this job right by your side, my brother. That's it.
Well, you have that job, and it's all thanks to the man in the ring. So what do you say we get up there before he changes his mind?
Welcome back to Lucha Underground! And boy, do I have some exciting news to share with all of you. But first, I want to announce an exciting main event. It will be Rey Mysterio Jr. against... No, my brother. Tonight, Rey Mysterio will face a man that tried to break my arm at Ultima Lucha 2. A man I would have fired if he hadn't redeemed himself in my eyes by bringing the most violence I have ever seen in this ring. When he bled Vampiro like a pig. Oink, 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 oink. Rey Mysterio will take on Pentagon Dark here tonight.
Wow, what a way to kick off Lucha Underground. A huge main event. It's what you've come to expect here in the temple.
But what about the monster Matanza Cueto? Matanza has defeated the best of the best here in Lucha Underground. There's literally no one who can stop him. But hey, that doesn't mean we cannot let them try, right? Allow me to introduce to all of you my new concept. An idea that I dreamt Dario Style of Doom. So how does it work? Well, I spin the wheel. And here's the deal. The name it lands on gets a title match with my brother. Everyone is eligible, as long as they're credible opponents and they have never faced Matanza one-on-one. I left out Rey Mysterio since, you know, my brother pinned him in Aztec Warfare to win the title. So, it's time to spin Dario's Dial of Doom and find out who gets a title match right now with my brother.
All right, let the suspense begin as Dario spins his Dial of Doom. Who will have this, dare I say, unfortunate opportunity to face Matanza for the Lucha Underground Championship? Oh, boy! The Son of Havoc now a chance at redemption here.
There you have it. Son of Havoc gets his title shot. Melissa, let's not waste any more time.
The following lucha is scheduled for one fall, and it's for the Lucha Underground Championship. Introducing first, he is the Lucha Underground Champion, the Monster Matanza Cueto. And the challenger from the open road, Son of Havoc.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here comes a man that was promised a main event title match at Ultima Lucha 3, only to have that ripped away by our owner, Dario Cueto. Finally, Son of Havoc gets his shot at the Lucha Underground Championship right now, thanks to Dario Cueto's Dial of Doom.
A guy like that who spends his time on the open road, sleeping under the stars, taking chances every night, he's ready to go at the drop of a dime. It doesn't matter. Tonight's his night. He's in the ring, ready to go.
Little to no time to prepare. How does that affect Son of Havoc?
Son of Havoc was born and bred here in the temple, brother. That kid is born to rock, born to roll. He's here to fight. It doesn't matter about getting time to prepare. Clench your fists, close your eyes, and swing for the fences, right?
For the first time visitor here to the temple, Son of Havoc in the mask is a two-time trios champion. He was a part of our first ever broadcast with a win over Sexy Star. Son of Havoc has been a fan's favorite, but Matanza, on the other hand, has been Lucha Underground champion since Aztec Warfare 2. He's been seemingly unstoppable.
Devastatingly so. Excuse me, I was just going to say, Son of Havoc bouncing off the rope to King Matanza and run on me a pigeon hitting a building.
Well, at Ultima Lucha 2, Son of Havoc's journey almost took him to the championship. It was not to be, but perhaps tonight the stars align for the biker from the open road.
Hey, man, you mentioned something about Matanza getting prepared. You got to remember, this guy's been tortured, kept in a cage in a dark room for his whole life, banging his head on the wall, eating steel. I mean, he's been preparing for this since day one, don't you think?
Yes, but he's also been the longest reigning Lucha Underground champion. And of course, when we look at long reigning champions, you can't help but think of guys like Bruno Sammartino and Joe Louis, but it's a lot harder here in Lucha Underground to constantly maintain your championship status. But Son of Havoc may be 3 seconds away if the biker from the open road can find a way.
Hit him right in the nuts. I like that so much. Boom. Brother, you might not be able to hold your title forever here in Lucha Underground, but that's life, man. But if you hold the hearts of the people for as long as Son of Havoc has, hey, people's champion, baby.
Now, back to the wrestling. That's what brought us here. What about the strategy here? Son of Havoc obviously is going to have the speed and agility advantage. How does Matanza compensate for that?
Brute strength. I mean, opposites attract. There's no way to go, right? Yin and yang.
But we remember that Matanza had trouble with Rey Mysterio, so Matanza has trouble with Crow. Spider opponent, double stop, cover, no!
Matanza, what's going on?
It's kind of like one of them big red oak trees.
Baby food.
And like little Son of Havoc's like a little hatchet, try and chop it down. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but you're gonna have to come at him with a lot more than that.
You'll hear us mention Ultima Lucha. That is our culmination, the apex of year-long rivalries here in Lucha Underground. But that, my friends, is a long way away. Tonight, our first night back, and Matanza picks up right where he left off. Oh!
Again.
You can hear the arrogance of Dario. We touched on it earlier.
Again.
Ow, ow, ow!
Yeah, exactly. By the short and curlies.
Matanza maintains control of his opponent by the beard. Now up into a scoop slam position. Matanza places the challenger right onto the ancient Aztec seal. Whoa! Beautifully done. Standing moonsault headbutt. Oh! One.
Wow.
Our amazingly athletically gifted and maniacal champion. Stack
1, 2,
cover.
3.
No.
Brother, that was almost like a jiu-jitsu thing there. He hooked his leg and put his knee through his nostril.
Count faster. You have to count faster.
One thing that we can continue to say that hasn't changed at all. The fans are into the match. The temple full of believers is so awesome. It's good to be back, brother. I missed you.
The fans are truly the fourth man in a singles match. Of course, the two luchadors, the referee, and then you guys.
So would the temple be like the Beatles making music?
Okay, George Martin aside. Matanza takes the back elbow. Havoc trying to create a little bit of space now, trying to collect himself.
Ooh.
As the recombobulation of Havoc is underway, Son of Havoc goes for the tornado DDT, but Matanza's core strength is just too much. But wait a minute! Wait a minute! Havoc tries and hooks in a choke. Matanza's on his feet. He has to hold all of Havoc's weight, and the only reprieve for Matanza is the turnbuckle.
Not yet. Wow, but he's got that in there
Look
tight.
at the space. Matanza's shoulder is preventing this from being a full-on choke. That's the only thing saving Matanza. Havoc knows it. Has to get Matanza off of his feet.
Wow.
Now, Son of Havoc going with what had brought him to the dance. Folks, welcome back to Lucha Underground.
Can I make something official right now? Yes, we have our first holy shit moment of the season. We've seen their brother.
Double stomp. Standing. Is this enough? This is a time-honored submission. The thumb pointed to the ceiling. The arm is not hyperextended. It has to be hyperextended for Havoc to get the concession. Matanza trying to alleviate the pressure. Rolls over onto his side, trying to stack up his opponent, locking his hands. Anyone that watches UFC or Jiu-Jitsu has seen this a million times. Wow. The power of Matanza. Havoc slips out now. Vamp, help me out, man. First night back and I'm already blown up.
Yeah, dude. It's a rock and roll show, but I'm just blown away by the strength of Son of Havoc, man.
I thought Son of Havoc's time was now, but instead out of nowhere, cover 2. Oh!
Damn, brother. Son of Havoc has definitely spent some time in the gym learning something. Incredible stuff. You called it. That armbar, if he would have had that inner hook, he could have popped that socket right off his shoulder.
Some may be shocked at Son of Havoc's performance, but others that have watched this young man since day one, they're not surprised. They believed in Son of Havoc, and now tonight, together, they are all on the motorcycle, headed down the road.
Ooh. Oh, that was an ugly shot to the belly button.
And if you're just joining us, this match for the Lucha Underground Championship, a result of Dario's Dial of Doom, Son of Havoc had the fortunate opportunity. Now the fortunate son. Is this his night? 1, 2, no!
Wow! I mean, where did Matanza pull that from? You know what I mean? Where did he get the energy or something clicked on side to kick out?
And now, Son of Havoc trying to get the believers behind him. You can see how Lucha Underground has impacted so many people's lives. Son of Havoc has been a vital part of that. As now, Havoc stirs to his feet, waiting, positioning. Matanza now rises. What does the challenger have in mind? Springboard, flip, roll through. Matanza got out of the way somehow. Oh, no. Matanza closed the distance and hit the Wrath of the Gods. Somewhere underneath that cloak beats the mind of a calculating and precise fighter. And his brother is holding the championship high.
You deserve to hold.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate underdog, Son of Havoc, came oh so close, but he becomes just another victim to the monster Matanza Cueto. And now the question, will Rey Mysterio become just another victim of Pentagon Dark's rampage of destruction? El Jefe has made the huge main event. We'll find out together tonight.
It is in the worldwide underground. To what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sick of waiting, Dario. I want the Lucha Underground Championship, and I want it now. Now. Why are you giving title matches to a D-bag loser like Son of Havoc? D-bag? When you know the people want Johnny Lotto.
Well, Johnny, your name is on Dario's Dial of Doom. Maybe if fortune spins on your...
I make my own fortune. Give me my title match!
Well, Johnny, the last time you were in my ring, you lost the trios titles.
That was only because of Angelico. I took care of him.
That's right.
String bean. You should have learned your lesson the last time I kicked your ass. Guess it's my bad for not ending your career the first time. Get his leg in there. I'm not gonna make that mistake again.
That's a great story. But you still don't get a title shot.
Fine. Then give me Sexy Star for the Gift of the Gods title. I'll take her to Slamtown.
Slamtown.
And then I'll come for your brother.
No, Johnny, you don't deserve that either. You lost at Ultima Lucha 2. All of you did. Well, all of you except her. I'll tell you what. It will be Taya versus Sexy Star for the Gift of the Gods tonight.
Fine.
The door!
The baddest bitch is in the building and she's got something to say.
Katrina has cost me my Ultima Lucha matches twice. Now this has made me realize two very important things. Number one, how badly I want my first Ultima Lucha win. And number two, well, how badly I want to crush Katrina's skull into the ground. Katrina, I want you one-on-one at Ultima Lucha 3. How about it?
Bring it on, bitch.
I got goosebumps.
That's all it takes, huh?
Pretty much.
At Ultima Lucha, you're dead.
Well, we don't even know when Ultima Lucha 3 will take place, but we do know that we have our first match for the event. It's set. Ivelisse versus Katrina. But if you want to see exciting luchadores go one-on-one, you don't have to wait till Ultima Lucha 3 when we come back Championship. Don't go away.
The following lucha is scheduled for one fall, and it's for the Gift of the Gods Championship. Introducing first, the challenger from Victoria, British Columbia, Taya.
As the believers share their opinions of Taya, make no mistake, this athlete here is arguably one of the best that we have in the temple, talking about Taya.
And her opponent from Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico, she is the Gift of the Gods champion, Sexy Star.
All right, Sexy Star won the Gift of the Gods by surviving a 7-way elimination match. But remember, last year, Phoenix lost his Gift of the Gods championship on our first night back. Could Sexy suffer the same fate here tonight, fam?
I don't know, but this is just so dope to be back, and I'm telling you right now, Taya, yeah, okay, trained in Canada, and I'm not trying to be, biased or anything like that, but I know where she comes from and what she went through to get where she's at. Sexy, yeah, she's proven herself, but in my eyes, so is Taya. Let's see what happens.
All right, as Jem versus Shira about to go down here. Interesting to point out that the Gift of the Gods title has never been successfully defended. Every time it's on the line, it changes hands.
Speaking of hands now, you can see Taya using her height, positioning her hands over Sexy's, bending Sexy's back, and I look around and the crowd really astute, watching all the action intently as Sexy gets back up to a vertical base now, switches the hands, breaks them, spins around into an arm wringer, pinwheel, merry-go-round, and
Hey, the Gecko Brothers are in the house tonight. There's Zane Holtz and DJ Catrona. They're the stars of From Dusk Till Dawn, the series. Season 3 is airing right now on El Rey Network, fam, so make sure you check out the second episode, which is directed by your close personal friend, Senor Robert Rodriguez.
She's doing a hell of a job, man. There's nothing wrong with a pyramid that has vampires, and there's another pyramid here that has underground fighters. Taya has been applying a varied, extensive arsenal here. She's got everything tight. I know you can't see right now because she's standing in front of you. If you're paying attention to your monitor like I should, but I do not, things were tight. Every little arm lock was putting pressure on Taya's left shoulder.
Cover here by Sexy Star, lateral press. Taya kicks out, gets right back to her feet, leg sweep now. Taya pushed right off by Sexy Star. The two meet in the middle, duck a clothesline, duck a back elbow. Ooh, evenly matched.
Arm whip, man. That reminded me, and I'm going to throw a name at you from the past. Johnny Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that little snap, Dynamite Kid, Sayama, same thing.
Johnny Saint?
No, Johnny Smith. All Japan, baby. Yes, I am right. Johnny Saint would be moved to... Oh, right there. That was me coming home late. My mom was like, where were you?
Leapfrog to get out of the way. Sexy Star now on the move. Drop down. Try to trip her there. Taya into it. Sexy cartwheel down.
Ooh.
Down.
Crazy flexibility.
Vamp, I hear this term. Can you translate fuera loca?
She's saying fuera loca, crazy blonde.
Okay. I know plenty of them. My mom.
But fuera loca, fuera in Spanish, that means like, that's a big thing, you know what I mean? Fuera is like it's like a slang term. It's like the hip thing. It pretty much means gringo, but for a woman. Fuera, you're blonde.
Double knees to the face. Sexy dragged out. Taya with a nice cover there, pushing down on her opponent's heel. You don't see that a lot, but the pressure makes it very difficult to kick out.
And I'm noticing that Taya's not even breathing hard yet. She's going about this, she's, chipping away at the stone, doing things right, telling me and telling you and telling everybody else. She's got a lot of experience, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and all the things that you're saying here, they open up the mind for thoughts. And with the Gift of the Gods title, it opens the door to a Lucha Underground title. Johnny Mundo has always wanted to be Lucha Underground champion.
Oh, big elbow.
what would it be like in the Worldwide Underground household if Taya comes home with that title before Johnny?
Well, I don't know if Johnny's ego is going to let anybody but him wear the pants in that household.
Well, sometimes there are no time for pants.
I mean, I'm sure that Johnny would spend plenty of time locked in the bathroom, standing in front of the mirror with that belt around his waist, daydreaming, among other things.
Cover here. No.
Not enough, not enough, not enough. No way.
As Taya bats her fake eyelashes in disbelief, struggles to get to her feet, sexy with the crossbody, Taya catches.
Taya's strong, man.
Sure.
No doubt. Look at that, smiling. Oh, shot put.
There is Johnny Mundo, and when Johnny's around, the whole entire Worldwide Underground. PJ Black on the left, Jack Evans on the right. And while Justin Borden is distracted, Johnny gets a face full of Taya. And while that might be a good thing, tonight it is not. Oh!
Sexy Star is to Johnny's goal of being Lucha Underground champion. Johnny understands that Sexy Star has more fight in her than most of the locker room, and now the odds are evened up. The trio's champions are on the scene, Phoenix, Drago, and Aerostar. As four champions stand united against the Worldwide Underground, the divide between Pentagon Dark and everyone on our roster will only grow deeper tonight. Takes on Lucha Libre Royalty, the Breaker of Bones, one-on-one with the King. Our main event, next.
Wasn't that bad. Met a lot of really cool guys. I'll call him back.
I'm so happy you're back, Hefe. I just want to make sure my presence made it to you on the inside.
They did, Mari, thank you. Your family's generosity is very well documented. But I'm an innocent man, so I don't want you or anyone else talking about my unfortunate vacation ever again.
Totally get it. In fact, I'm here to talk about business. It's time for the moth to conquer this temple.
I like your gumption. But as my Spanish ancestors learned when they met the Aztecs many years ago, if you want to conquer something, you must be ready for war.
I'm ready for anything.
So is the man whose name you wear around your neck.
Killshot? I'm done with him.
But he's not done with you. Not yet. Because I have agreed to give him a chance to earn his precious dog tax. Next week, it will be a lucha never before done in this temple. A weapons of mass destruction match. So, you better put on your war paint, because everything will be legal. Consider it my present to you.
If Killshot wants these back, you better be ready for war.
The following lucha is scheduled for one fall. Introducing
man started at a very young age, and for over 2 decades, just like Mil Mascaras for a generation before him, Rey Mysterio has been the face of Lucha Libre. Vamp, how important is it for Lucha Libre for Rey Mysterio to be here in Lucha Underground in the Temple?
You gotta remember, almost everybody in the game today, every high flyer, every kid who's doing those suicidal moves, everybody grew up watching Rey Mysterio Jr. He is the originator, he is the innovator, he is the king.
A ringing endorsement from Vampiro for that man with a new look about him.
Wait a second, that's not a new look, brother. That is the original Rey Mysterio mask. Hell yeah, that goes back to his uncle. That is so old school that it's not even funny, man. That's mad props to Lucha Libre right there, dog.
And mad props to you for educating us, man. Learn something new every day. There you go. Rey Mysterio going back to his roots, perhaps trying to tap in to whatever it was that was in the water when this young man was growing up that made him so iconic, so special, so individual. Rey Mysterio Jr.
And his opponent from Jalapa, Veracruz, Mexico, Pentagon Dark.
Well, the path has been laid for this man right here. A huge main event, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever. Pentagon Dark versus Rey Mysterio. Do not go away.
Get your Lucha Underground gear today. Visit the online store at luchaunderground.com for t-shirts, caps, and more.
Welcome back to Lucha Underground. This, our main event. Pentagon Dark, the legendary Rey Mysterio. For the first time, these two will collide. Here we go!
You know what I'm digging more than anything right now?
What's that?
Rey Mysterio's tattoos on his chest, brother. I know what that feels like, and that's some serious pain. That's a commitment and a half right there.
Well, that pain, of course, is probably neutralized by the fact that Rey is coming off a huge win over Prince Puma at Ultima Lucha Dos. On the other side, Pentagon Dark, while he failed in his championship bid against Matanza, he's still left with some trophies. The broken arms of Black Lotus, El Dragon Azteca Jr., not to mention what he did to you.
Forget about that. Don't even bring that up. What's wrong with you? I told you not to do that, and you did. Right. Thanks, Matt. But listen, let me tell you something right now. How awesome is it for Pentagon Dark to be in the match with the iconic Rey Mysterio Jr.? Here's a guy who has done nothing but lit up Lucha Underground by his violence. Now he's stepping up. He's in the ring with the king.
Pentagon has displayed for us a great knowledge of mat-based lucha as well as traditional lucha libre. That may pose a problem for Rey Mysterio. Single leg into a cover, not enough.
I think the thing that's going to come into play here too is that, you know, evilness, darkness, that thing of wanting to destroy people.
What about inexperience or being impetuous, taking your eyes off of Rey Mysterio right there?
Yeah, you know what? I hate to say it, maybe experience, not being ready, dog.
Man, a little thing there. Pentagon locked up his own wrist. It prevented Rey Mysterio from turning Pentagon's body to whip Pentagon to the ropes, and just like that, Pentagon is now on top.
Like I said, man, he's evidently here. He's come to play. There's no doubt about it. New look.
And another interesting point is that the crowd, hang on, cover here, referee Marty Elias just gets a 2.5, but the crowd seems to be at least behind or respectful of what Pentagon has given to Lucha Underground.
He's rocked the house more than once, but I gotta tell you something, man. Oh shit, he spun him right around, landing on his melon. Dog, when I was growing up in this business in Mexico, I'm telling you right now, little Rey Mysterio, he fought the biggest and the baddest of the best. You know what I'm saying? He's been in this situation. Maybe not in front of somebody who's so dark inside and evil and wants to do bad things to good people. But I'm telling you now, he's been here before. He knows he's going to take a beating, but that's what makes you a champion, right?
Yes is the answer to your question. As Rey Mysterio takes the long walk of shame across the ring, clutching at his chest, trying to recapture his breath.
That was a nice kick.
Yeah, but it didn't do much. Reversals now. Pentagon on the move, ducks the clothesline, uses the ropes for momentum. Oh, sling blade clothesline. He pulled Rey right down. Rey gets up out of instinct, went for the clothesline, caught another one. Cover here.
Big mistake.
What's that?
Didn't hook the leg, man.
And I'll be honest, I hate to take away the suspense, but without a leg hook, you cannot believe that Rey Mysterio is going to stay down for a 3 count. Oh! RSVP for your party. The thrust kick puts Mysterio on the apron, and now Pentagon, who still takes time to engage the believers. I know that's something we've talked about.
Yeah.
You disagree with that.
I disagree, man. You know what I mean? That's one of his downfalls. He's not ready, man. He's not paying attention to what he should be doing.
Well, if Pentagon beats Rey here tonight, no one's ever going to question his readiness.
You're
and
right.
Right now, both luchadors are standing in a very precarious position. Whomever comes out on top should have the advantage. Top rope Frankensteiner, leg hooked. Oh! We talked about the weight difference, and you can see that all of Rey's weight was not applied to his opponent's body.
Exactly. Even though he was smothering Pentagon's face, which is very common in judo, if you're going to choke somebody out, the majority of his weight was on his hips and his thighs and the back side of Pentagon's shoulder blades. There was no way he was going to pin him down.
Now Rey Mysterio brings Pentagon back up to the vertical base. What does Rey have in mind? Pentagon again strengthens his wrist and arms, sends Rey in, misdirection. They both duck clotheslines here. These two know each other so well, it seems, for the first time ever.
I think Pentagon has not only gotten into his head, I think he's actually studied. You got to remember, as I told you, good and bad. Every one of these guys has grown up influenced by the mighty Rey Mysterio.
Hey, you know, you bring up a great point. You know, if these younger wrestlers grew up watching Rey, they almost inherently know his moveset.
Pretty much. Because they've taken that and they've modified it into their own. You know, this is, 2016. Wow. Things have to be modified and they change. That's just the evolution of life. How about that for some philosophy?
Oh, standing moonsault, but Pentagon catches Rey. Oh! Rey Mysterio is able to use momentum in his favor and catches Pentagon Dark with the DDT on the floor.
I just had mega deja vu. One time when I was wrestling Rey Mysterio, I made that same mistake and I got hit with that same move 15 years ago, brother.
The switching of the hips, the momentum, it's so important in fighting and wrestling.
I'll tell you why, because he's a smaller guy, so he's got to come in double ready going against bigger and stronger. He's always got to anticipate that somebody's going to block, punch, kick before he even gets off the ground. So he's almost thinking of the counter before he takes a shot. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. As Rey Mysterio comes crashing down on Pentagon Dark. Leg is hooked deep. Not enough.
Ooh. Big difference there. You see that he's almost getting the 3 count because of why? Because he's distributing his weight, he's hooking his leg, he's taking the wind out of Pentagon, not allowing him to kick out.
And the ebb and flow of this match has been so exhilarating. There's been some slower paces, and then there's been a lot of near falls. Now comes the impact maneuvers. Oh my God, he kicked out!
Oh wow, dude.
There, again, I lean on you. A guy like Rey Mysterio has nothing to prove. He could go home, 6-car garage, family, kids' college is paid for. Why kick out of that?
Matt, how can you even ask me that? You've been in the ring yourself. You know what it's all about, brother.
I don't have Rey's money and his life and his comforts.
But he's a competitor, brother, but you have his spirit. That's in your DNA, man. It's all about the fight, brother. You know that.
Well, the fight now is firmly in the hands of Pentagon Dark as the limp Rey Mysterio is playing possum, it seems. Lucha Libre arm drag now. Rey Mysterio starts to build momentum. Here he comes. Dial it up. Oh, Pentagon had it scouted, as had everyone that's ever seen a Rey match.
Oh, dude. I think that he might have taken Rey's head off of his body with that kick.
Or perhaps it's only held on by that vintage mask. Pentagon with power.
Oh, damn, I felt that.
You're shaking your head. You don't even need to say it, huh?
Yeah, brother. I mean, what can I tell you?
But the hand was on the leg. It's not the same as hooking it. As Rey Mysterio gets back, what's up?
I can't be here right now.
Where you going?
I can't be here right now, dude. I gotta go.
boxer, but to break the arm of an icon, to break the arm of Rey Mysterio, would send shockwaves throughout the entire Lucha Libre world. Pentagon is about to usurp the crown. Pentagon is about to become the king of no until Dragon Azteca Jr. Pentagon broke out Dragon Azteca's arm as well. And folks, nothing creates empathy better than experience. El Dragon Azteca may have just saved Rey Mysterio from his same fate. Ooh. As we collect ourselves, many battles have been fought here tonight, but the war that is Lucha Underground, it's just begun. For Vampiro, I'm Matt Striker. We'll see you next week. It's good to be back.
I know what you're feeling. Believe me, I've been there. You were lost. Maybe you need some guidance.
I don't need anything, especially not from you.
How about a few words of advice? You haven't been the same since you lost him in Muertes. I mean, not only did he take your mentor from you, but he took you from you. You want to be Prince Puma again, you want to be the man again, you got to take out Muertes.
I'm surprised you're not asking me to take out Pentagon for you.
Hey, brother, this ain't about me. This is all about you.